Hi everyone, my name's Frank and I'm at 504 Holt Valley Drive 37221. I'm a contractor and I've been asked to take over this job. A contractor is here and it's incomplete, and I want to walk through this in video form and show two things. One, what the customer doesn't like. Two, some things that are just wrong, and this way we get a full scope of everything's going on. So I want to start right here. The customer isn't happy with this because this is what's called a new build. In other words, this was torn out and reframed. And these are cosmetic things, but he was still unhappy. The drywall's incomplete. There's some nicks in the wood. Doors aren't installed. Underneath this window, you won't be able to see in the video, but it's the paint just is improperly matched and it's the wrong texture, wrong kind of paint. The windows, on the outside of these windows, the trim's not done. Then if you look over here, here's a light switch that supposed to control the lighting for all the closets, and there's supposed to be lighting for all the closets. But we only have one wire hanging here to wire up only one light. We don't have anything to do the next two, so we're going to have to charge customer to finish this. Then Josh, if you'll just switch places with me, you'll go in over here. This is the cutout that they made for a steam shower, and this is the actual steam shower unit. It is properly installed as far as codes. It has its own drip pan with emergency drain. The problem we have is there's very little way to put an access panel on this, because Josh, as you come forward, the catch pan sticks beyond the wall, and it can't really come out very far to put a door on here because of the distance to the door trim. So we're going to have to figure out how to fix this, make it look good, and make sure that it's closed and it's just not an open hole. All right, so step in here. The contractor, it appears that he wanted to change the look and feel of the bathroom. So starting here, they went into a square trim design. This is 1/4 inch luan, and this is what the customer is just not satisfied with this. So step in here, and if we look here, the customer thinks that this is completely out of place and doesn't belong, and he wants it replaced. And there is no more bull nose. We actually have to order bull nose. Now, I don't know if the contractor ran out of tile and put this up to cover that or what, but this needs to have bull nose all around it and tile taken to the ceiling so everything blends in nice and neat. And then if we step into the shower, there's a couple issues. The custom pan slightly puddles here or there, so we'll need to monitor it over the next couple of years. The customer did say that they did put in a concrete substrate on the walls, which is good, and they did use a sealing agent, a latex sealing agent. One thing here, this is an incorrect light fixture. As you can see the light coming around it, this has to be a sealed unit. It really needs to be an LED system to do this. It's really technically too close to the shower head. I'm not even sure if this will pass codes, but we're going to put in an LED lighting system, a lower voltage, less wattage, and seal it correctly, and hopefully it'll pass codes. And then you can't see this in the film, but along the upper edges, it's not grouted in at all. And where it is grouted in, they didn't use grout, they used a colored caulk, and it's not installed correctly. It's literally coming back out of the pocket. Okay? Now if we look in here, this door, as you notice, again, think that door has square trim. This has standard trim. This is like a $50, $60 Luan pre-hung door, and it's got the improper trim on it. It doesn't match any of the bathrooms, so this is another thing that the customer's unhappy with. So we're going to have to pull this back out and install the correct casing and the correct trim. Same thing with the window. It's not cased out correctly. I mean, it's not trimmed out or finished. It's not that it's incorrect, it's just not done. And then if we come in here, and this one gets a little tight, this commode, the customer, I'm 6'3", the customer is probably a good 2 to 3 inches taller than me, and they put in a round bowl, small toilet, when really we need to put in a tall ADA compliant toilet just because he's a large, tall man and he needs the extra room. So this will have to be pulled out, thrown away, and actually put in the correct toilet. All right, follow me. Keep it running, Josh. Now, we step into the hallway, and if you look here, you have, it's called moon over trim or round over trim. There's several different words for it. You have it on this side of the hallway, but on the other side of the hallway, they put a totally separate type of baseboard. Also, the customer informed me, Josh, you get a shot of the floor. They didn't put down any floor protection, and the floor is actually worn further from foot traffic. It could have been avoided, but it is what it is. So we're definitely going to have to have that repaired. The floor sanded and refinished. Also, if we step in here, they needed to put a vent in. This is incomplete. This has to be boxed out and encased out and hidden some way. So I do agree that we have to get air to the bedroom, but this needs to be cased out and finished. All right. One thing to note as we walk, there's virtually no power up here. The stove doesn't work. Kitchen doesn't work. There's no power. We'll discuss that as we get downstairs. All right, let's go on in here. Cased opening, not trimmed out. This isn't cased out, or do we have a threshold here? And then Josh, fade around in here. They remove this, this is paneling on this wall, so they, according to the customer, they removed the paneling and put up drywall, and they actually reinstalled this door. And this door, if you'll come on in close, Josh, just so they can see this. This door used to be what's called the kitchen pantry. So they reinstalled it just so the customer could have access to the shower valve. You can't put shelves in it, you can't do anything for it. The correct procedure here is, of course, remove the door, float over it, and then 10 years down the road when there is a valve problem, deal with it then. There's no trim in, obviously. This header is actually framed out, it's installed correctly. These hash marks was called from a Bode 2x4. They just chiseled out trying to get the hump out of the wall. Okay? Here, they made this opening wider. This is where I'm trying to figure it out. This wall, this came all the way across, and this is where the old doorway was. And when they installed a new header, they just did a splice here and added on when you can't do that. You have to take this piece out and put in its own header system, because this is a bearing wall because of the double top plates. This is going to sag eventually. And what really gets me is here is their pencil mark where they were actually going to cut this free to do it the right way. So I don't know what happened there, but this all has to be torn out and completely redone. All right. Let's come up here, Josh. Come right here so we can see this way. This is going down the stairs. Of course, I can't show it on video, but as I go down these stairs, these are tilted forward by the feel, I say, almost 3/4 of an inch. So we're going to have to repair the stairs here. And then if we come down the stairs, here is where they begin to level out and gain strength. Now, Josh, I'm going to need you to walk down and shoot back this direction. Floor's crooked. Oh. All right, that's far enough. Turn around and look right here. If you look right here, this stair, they had a plan apparently to put a faceplate on here, floor tread this, but the stair is actually sticking out over open air. So we have to, it's not a large deal, but we still have to frame this out so that when we reframe everything, that the stair is actually setting on a landing, not hanging over a landing. It's just incorrect. All right? So just keep backing up, Josh. This is exterior door to the garage. And if you look right here where I'm kicking, the door apparently when they removed it, it fell apart. And they put it back in and the door's, it's just shot. It's done. So we're going to pull it back out. There's big dents all in it. So we're going to pull it out, put it in a brand new door. Problem solved. All right. Here, the customer wanted to, because he's going to use this as a sound studio / entertainment room, he wanted a door put here. And there's no door, so what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to actually install a header, drywall it in, and put a door in for the customer as he wanted that, whatever reason didn't get done. Okay. Here, right here, the customer complained right here. He told the contractor, he said, they were cutting in a closet here. He said, I don't want a closet here at all. They said, we insist, we're going to put one in for you. So this is here, it's incomplete, we need to finish it out. And there is an extra expense to do it. It's just going to have to be taken care of. Now, going into the bathroom, this is where it gets interesting. It's important to say that this was a blank area. This is all new framing. There was nothing here when the job was started. There was no plumbing. Nothing was done. It was a blank basement. So come on into the bathroom. If you look in here, where I'm standing, we're going to have to acid wash. They didn't get all, you see these haze marks on here? This is where they let the grout dry for so long that it actually became part of the tile. So we're going to have to remove all the plumbing fixtures here and acid wash everything. Also, very little ventilation, and this is regular drywall on the ceiling. This should absolutely be tiled because it's just a matter of time before it begins to peel and come apart. Also, the ceiling heights are different heights, so we're going to have to come up with why it is, and either get it back level or do a some kind of step down to dress this up where it looks good. Now, they put the commode here, which is really tied into the shower, which is okay because this is about how somebody would be. But this is the grinder pump to the bathroom. It wasn't here before. They actually installed it right in front of the toilet. It's wrong. Right? Any way you want, I don't even know if it's in code or not, and I'm a master plumber contractor as well as a contractor. But one, you're going to be able to smell it from time to time. Also, if you look at the water heater, where the water heater comes down, you've got an emergency drain for your water heater that comes across, ties in with a condensation line, probably from an air conditioning system. Actually, I think that's an emergency drain for the air conditioning system. It's not even a condensate line. And going into the grinder pump, they put a P-trap. If water never goes in here, that will dry out eventually. Every time the grinder pump runs, it will fill the room with noxious fumes. What should have been done is very easily taken water heater, move it over to the closet underneath the stairwell, take the grinder pump, and put it in that closet, and case all this out. This is how the contractor left it. This is considered their finished work. There's no wall. This is really to be a nice looking place, but this is it. This is how they intend to leave it. So we have to redesign and repair all of this. We're probably looking upwards of 10 grand to fix this. Here, this was supposed to be a pantry closet with a door on it, but they finished the drywall corners, so we're going to have to tear it back out and put in a really small door. Also, they didn't finish the back. If you look, my hands are going back in here. They didn't finish this or intend to put a back wall on it, and I don't understand why. So we're going to have to fix this so we can actually get a door on it of some type. Over here to the cabinets. The cabinets are actually installed nicely. I think that this might be a subpar water, anti-water penetration. It's called Drylok. They make some superior substances out there. What this was supposed to be is a rustic look. And they started to put in the rough sawn barn oak, which is good, but this is where they stopped. What the customer wanted was this wrapped all the way behind the plumbing, all the way around, with 2 shelves in. So what we're going to do to fix this is we're going to take this barn wood and put it in on a diagonal angle all the way around, and then up at the top we're going to put a small header in so we can put an LED light strip in with 2 big shelves for their glasses or whatever they want for the bar area, and with the LED lighting system that they can change to any color they want. Now, follow me. This is the electrical panel, and I'll show you this. That is the state of electricity right now. Half of, I simply don't know what's open. You look here, there's open junction boxes throughout. We're going to have to get a licensed electrician in here, and he's just going to have to go through this very methodically and see what's wrong, why it's sparking. When I first looked at the job, all this is off. He was staying somewhere else because the AC systems wouldn't work. I simply turned back on the breakers and the AC system worked, but obviously there's some electrical problems. Here, if you look right here, I found two so far. They've either removed, or some reason, this is gas pipe. They opened it and they left them open. And what makes this bad is if there's ever any confusion and somebody turns on the gas at the outside, you're looking at a catastrophic fire or explosion. This is probably, in my field, the biggest no-no I can think of, is when you remove any gas line for any amount of time, put a cap on it, seal it up, because you never know. If the customer comes home and the stove upstairs doesn't work, which is gas, and he knew enough to turn on the gas there, stove might have worked enough, but it would have filled down here with fumes. He wouldn't have been down here, and one spark and it's over. All right, moving on. The other thing that the customer wanted is they wanted to get rid of as many beams as possible. And they say there's an engineer ladder. I haven't seen it, but this is the steel beam. This is the header system that is installed. The only thing that I would have done different is we bolt these together to keep them from ever spreading apart, but I do believe that nailing them is fine. It's within code. Then we get over here, and the customer's goal was to not have any poles at all, but the contractor said, well, I'm wanting you to put a pole here, but you won't have to have any poles going through here. So they put a pole here, they left this one here, and then if you come over here and look, they said, well, we need to leave this one because there's a split right here in the main beams of the house, which is correct. In my experience working with engineers, when I had an engineer design a lift for me, and we do a lot of lifts every year, they come out and they look at all this, and this is all pre-planned, and apparently the customer's very unhappy because this is a surprise move. Oh, we found this, instead of, well, we'll have to leave this pole here, and this is why. Because from there, the customer could have made his decision to put in another pole here and go ahead and extend the beams all the way over. He could have omitted this pole while everything was down and the bracing was in place. It could have been done then. But now we have the drop ceiling, plumbing, wiring's done, so we can't go back and redo it. So he's really unhappy about that. All right, pause it for 1 second and let me look everything over.